Hello everyone and welcome back. And yes, you may ask, what is this video? This is not a draft league content. Now it is draft league content, but it's not the usual draft league content you're used of me. Normally you would see like a team builder, a battle, but no, I've taken a break, and in the meantime I've already said this in one of my last battles for the the GPC and CPC, that in the meantime I'm going to do some analyst work for various leagues, which are the NPL and the CPC offseason. So definitely go check out their respective channels. I will be doing a weekly series on both of those channels. Starting, I think we will start around next week. So definitely look out for that. And then in the meantime on this channel, I decided I was thinking, should I just leave it kind of dead until I start leagues again? But I decided no. There was one thing, and I wanted my channel around draft league, so I decided to make sort of a draft league analysis on specific mons, and especially on the new mons or the buffed mons, but mostly I will go over the new mons. Just yeah, kind of one by one. I hope to do this series once a time every week, because yeah, it's kind of a series that involves a lot of time for me while making layouts and such for the video. That already takes some time, and just the analysis on the mon itself and doing all the work to like really figure out the mon and what it's capable of, it just takes a lot of time. It also really depends on the mon how long it will take, but for the average mon it still takes quite some time. So I hope to do this every week. And yeah, so you may wonder, okay, but maybe you have seen this concept on other channels already. Yeah, that's true. There are two guys notably that I know of. That's one, UndertheRadar. He has also done it for the last generation and has recently started up again for 7th gen. Definitely go check him out. He's a really a great guy and also a great league battler. But I thought, yeah, I also really want to cover this, and it was not really inspired by him, but just of myself. And he makes some great videos, but I think with that I can maybe go a bit more in depth than he goes in his videos. His videos are also most of the time relatively short, 5 to 10 minutes. These videos kind of depends on the mon, but most mons I think mine will be a bit longer. And also I will also try to cover mons that he hasn't covered already, so that there's not too much overlap. Same goes with Aster, that's the other guy. He also recently started in 7th gen, but he has started with all the top boosts, and I think after that he's most likely going to do all the ultra beast. So he will go over like the big names of 7th gen first, which is kind of nice, because I wanted to take a whole different route. I want to take the underdogs of the 7th gen and make a video about them and give them some spotlight, because I think there are really some hidden gems hidden there. Also some mons that just aren't that good, or just maybe nice as a late round pick. And I think this mon I will be covering today, quite explicit, is a mon that's easily overlooked for several reasons. I will mention all of them, but yeah, we will just go over this mon in a few different routes. We will cover like every aspect of the mon, I hope. And yeah, just let me know afterwards in the comment section what you think of this series and what you think of this idea in general. So that's enough of my introduction and me rambling on. Let's hop into the mon, because you are probably wondering what is the mon, or if you have looked at the title, you already know. It's Vikavolt. So Vikavolt is a really cool mon in 7th gen. Just design wise, if you look at it, I found it a really cool mon. And then we will first go over what is the typing of Vikavolt. If you may relatively new to it, maybe you don't know, it's a bug and electric typing. So if you think is it a new type, no, we have already seen it in the mons like Calventula, so it's not a new type. But then I will cover this type both offensively and defensively later on, But first I want you to take a look at first its ability. So its ability is Levitate, which means it's immune to ground. That's quite cool, because then this mon is a safe switch into earthquakes and every other ground type move. Kinda cool. Normally I think ground is super effective normally on this, because the only resist to ground is grass. Okay, bug might also resist ground. Okay, don't quote me on that, but at least he's now immune to it, which is really great. Giving this mon an immunity is kind of cool. Also it flies, so Levitate, it does its job. So a cool ability, but then it's like, okay, what are the stats of this mon? Because stats can also really break a mon, because you need the whole package. You need a good typing, abilities and stats. Those three combined make the mon. So then you see these stats and you think to yourself, HP 77, decent. Attack 70, probably not really usable. Defense 90, respective. Special attack 145, you think, holy shit, that's a lot. And I must say, that's really a lot. This thing hits really hard. Then you see special defense 75, you think, okay, that's decent. And then you see its speed at 43 and you think to yourself, I see this mon and I see this design and I see 43 speed, and you're kind of disappointed. And I think most of the people who saw this really are. I think most of 7th gen is on the slower end, which is kind of unfortunate, because I think in Draft League format really speed is key. But I think this mon, despite its lacking in speed, has some really nice niches, both offensively and defensively, which I will show you today. So first I will shortly mention some of the shortcomings right off the bat of this mon, which you probably why you haven't drafted or really looked at this mon. That's for one, its speed. Speed's really bad, 43. And mainly of an electric type, you want a fast electric type. That's like one of the main things you're looking for in your draft, but this mon doesn't give you that. But what does it give you? So I will cover this. I will cover this shortly. I will begin with what this mon gives you offensively, and then I will say what this mon gives you defensively. And then there's one more really key weakness to this mon, and that's that. And I will also cover this at the defensive side, but I think it's really important to measure this. Alongside its lacking in speed, it's weak to stealth rogues, and that's is really gonna hurt him, because every time this mon switches in, it takes 25%. So that hinders its defensive capabilities, and it also hinders its offensive capabilities, because every time it's an electric type, so it learns Volt Switch. So every time it goes in and out, it's really hurt. So before I now will hop into this mon offensively, you may wonder, okay, this isn't a cool mon. I've seen the stats, I've seen the ability, I've seen the typing, I think I know everything. No. The moves, it's a really important step. I almost forgot the moves. So the moves are, as you can see here, the most notable moves it gets is Thunderbolt, Bug Buzz. So that's its main stab, Thunderbolt and Bug Buzz. Then as coverage, Energy Ball, really nice to hit the ground types. It has Volt Switch for the initiative. Flash Cannon is a really cool option, because it hits fairy types who are generally especially bulky. So Flash Cannon is a really nice move for that. Then you have Air Slash, which might come in handy against some mons who are like quite weak to it. Then Charge Beam. Charge Beam can be cool on a more bulky setup mon, maybe to try to counteract some walls. Light Screen can be that one match that you want Light Screen. Then Thunder Wave and Toxic can be on a more bulky spread, especially Thunder Wave to cripple offensive threats. Roost is really one of the main advantages this mon has. Because of Roost, it can also be used more defensively, because it can heal up, and that's really cool. And then two moves that are a bit gimmicky, the Solar Beam. Maybe 1 week power up Solar Beam just destroys someone, or it can be combined with a C move even. That can be some cool ideas. And then you have Iron Defense if you want to really wall a mon that badly, and with Roost and Iron Defense, I don't know, in League format everything is possible. So that is its coverage. and then I will be going over it offensively first. So the offensive typing of this mon. So this mon has its two main typings, and you see here. So first of all you have bug. Bug, if you don't know, and I really like to remind you but also myself of those things, bug is super effective on psychic, grass and dark. So three typings which it's quite nice to have super effective coverage against, especially psychic and dark, because those two are really great typings in League format. Psychic type is maybe even the best typing in League format, because it can do so many things, so it's really nice to have a super effective stab against it. Then it's resisted by fighting, fairy, fighting, fire, flying, ghost, poison, steel, fairy. That's really a lot, but yeah, that's the thing you have with bug. But the other stab, electric, is super effective against water and flying. So water really nicely, because like almost every team has a bulky water at least. And then it's resisted by dragon, electric, grass, and ground is immune to it. So if you look at those two types combined, there's no single type. There are dual types that resist both of these stabs. So it's quite a nice offensive typing. It hits some really key types really hard. So offensively it's quite a nice typing. So then if we look more at what kind of sets we're going to use for this mon offensively, because you have to keep in mind it has a really low speed, but it has a really high special attack stat, so we're kind of going to try to abuse it. So how are we going to abuse it? You see here two examples of sets. So one type of coverage, I think I didn't mention, and this was kind of on purpose, not on the list, that's agility. So that means this mon can like be your late game sweeper. This mon can just set up an agility late game, and then with its coverage of Thunderbolt and Bug Bust, and then maybe like a last coverage option to hit like a bulky ground type with Energy Ball, or just a bulky fairy type with Flash Cannon, it can go modest, life orb, dual stab, coverage, agility, which is really cool. Because then even with this despicable speed, you can still really put some teams on its back with this mon, which you don't really expect as a sweeper. So that's cool. And then the other set offensively is just more as the wall breaker set. You can run some speed to outrun some walls. You can also say, okay, I will go max HP, max special attack, and then go with either life orb or choice packs, depends what you want. Choice packs is better in damage output, but you can be walled by ground types and such. And then most of the time you will run like Thunderbolt, Bug Bust, and then again a coverage option in Flash Cannon or Energy Ball. If you have life orb, maybe you want to roost on it, and then most likely you will go Volt Switch. Those movesets are just examples, keep that in mind. It's League format, everything can happen. Those are really just some standard movesets that can work. So before I go into some mons and calcs on mons, I want to cover something. Because, okay, you see agility, you see a standard, just an offensive 4 attacks one, but you are still wondering, okay, you have this 43 speed, what can I outspeed, what can I not outspeed? This is really important to keep in mind, especially in League format and especially with a mon that has such low speed. So I've looked up some things, those won't reveal. That is that if you run max speed, you can outrun base 83s with no speed. So a wall that has 83 speed, you can outspeed if you run max speed, and this means also a positive speed nature. So keep in mind, you may want to run bulky, but if you want to outspeed them, that's what you can outspeed maximum. Then with an agility and max speed, so that's not modest, but that's more like timid. Then with max speed timid, you can after an agility outrun base 135s. That's really great, because that means you outrun things like low penny and mega magnetic. If I remember correctly, base 135s, there are not a whole lot of mons faster than that, so it's really cool that after one agility you can already outspeed like almost all mons. Also something I've looked up, there are some leagues that run level 50 mons, and there are some minor differences. I haven't put them in the calcs, but I have looked them up for the speeds. At level 50 you can even outspeed base 137s. Don't know if there are base 136 or 137s, but it is the speed you hit then. Then if you think, okay, but my opponent doesn't have that of a speedy squad, so maybe I can go modest life up with agility and can get away with the extra damage output. If you run modest max speed, after an agility you outspeed base 118. So base 118 is really cool because you outspeed then base 110s, base 115s, which is a really common speed there, so that's really nice. And if your league is a level 50 league, you even outspeed base 120s, and that's also really great because 120 is also one of those speed tiers that are just some nice mons are in it, like LXM for example. So then I have suggested life up, I have suggested choice packs, but maybe there is this 1 week you are thinking of running Scarfed Vikavolt. Scarfed Vikavolt can outspeed max speed base 89s. Bit unfortunate because it's just below the 90 speed mark, and it's just not really that great because most of the teams will have some base 100s and like 2 mons above base 100 most of the time already. So it's not really a set I would recommend, but it can still put in some work some weeks. So then okay, we've now talked about speed, but we want to know damage because damage is key, right? So first I thought, okay, let me look at some main special defensive, mainly some main walls you see also in league format quite often, and what Vikavolt does against them. So I thought, why not go with Clefable first? So this is the calc for Clefable, guys. If you run modest special attack life up Vikavolt with flash cannon, it 2-hit KOs a max Clefable even with leftovers. That's crazy, guys. If you can 2-hit KO Clefable, that's really an accomplishment. So that's really cool because Clefable is then not really a switch in. Also with Volt Switch, you can already get some momentum, but now you can even get the 2-hit KO. Keep in mind that 1v1, this Clefable can still set a Calm Mind on you, but keep also in mind that if it's a Calm Mind Clefable, it's most likely not specially defensive invested. So you have to find out what kind of Clefable it is beforehand, but definitely Clefable is not a switch in to Vikavolt. So that's one example. Then another example is bulky ground type. A bulky ground type that you see quite often, especially on some sand teams, is Hippowdon. So these are the calcs for Hippowdon. You can see that sorry guys, max Hippowdon from again modest life orb. Bug Buzz has a 32% chance to hit KO after leftovers, so it has to have leftovers, it has to have max SPDF and max HP. So with Rocks Up it's definitely a one shot, but also keep in mind this is just a neutral Bug Buzz. If you run the super effective coverage you can pack with Energy Ball, you easily 2-shot it. So Hippowdon is no problem for Vikavolt, which is also quite nice. So then some other notable examples that I found out where are the follow tree, that are Kovac Riggers, also quite a bulky mon, but still easily dealt with by Vikavolt. Easily 2 Thunderbolts take it out. Even Mega Aggron, even max Mega Aggron, 2 Thunderbolts take it out. Extra drill resist both stab due to its dual typing, but even then Bug Buzz easily 2 shots max not Bug Buzz. Energy Ball easily 2 shots max HP extra drill. So that's really cool. Yeah, that are the main examples I have for you guys here, but there are some mons that still can take hits. I mean, it would be a bit crazy if there are like really no switch-ins. So there's one mon that's really on a lot of draft Draft League teams, I must say, and it's also doing really great in League format, and that's Zapdos. And as you can see from these calcs, live, if you look at live of Vikavolt, modest, Thunderbolt just barely misses out on the KO on max Zapdos with leftovers. Keep that in mind. So after rocks, you two-shot it. With no rocks up, Zapdos is able to take you on, because Heat Wave also in the process does really a lot. But if you run choice packs, maybe that's what you want that week, you easily two-shot a Zapdos with Thunderbolt. And keep in mind, you can always just go for the Volt Switch. If Zapdos, if he goes Zapdos and you go for Volt Switch, you get initiative and some nice damage. So that's really nice, and yeah, I just wanted to show you guys the power of Vikavolt even against a monster great as Zapdos. So then there are definitely some mons that can take 2 hits, even live of Thunderbolt, even Specs Thunderbolt. So, and that are the following, but even then you will see. So first two, we have two really SPDEF fairy types in Florges and Sylveon. Florges and Sylveon, if you run them defensively, Flash Cannon still two-shots them from modest live up. If you run them SPDEF, and most of the time you don't really want that, then they can kind of take on Vikavolt. Can even set some Calm Minds up on it. But if you expect those mons, because it's League format, you can't pack what you want, you can just Toxic them. The same goes for the follow 2 mons in Licky and P2. Licky and P2 are really bulky, don't do much back to you, so you can run Toxic on it, on your Vikavolt to stall them out. You can even run a Charge Beam set against them, and try to set up with Charge Beam and Roost, try to set up on them, and go from there, because after 1 or 2 boost you are easily able to two-shot them with Thunderbolt. Then you have also Mega Steelix. Mega Steelix is again that steel ground that resists dual typing, so you have to run HP Fire on it, and a max Mega Steelix is just barely not two-shot by HP Fire. But keep in mind, Mega Steelix has no reliable recovery, so that mon can easily be riddled. So I've listed some counters to it, but still, you can really in this format really work around this counters quite easily, in my opinion. So that's mainly all I wanted to cover about Vikavolt offensively. So guys, just a quick heads up, it's kind of in the middle of the video, but due to me talking a whopping 4 minutes about just some introduction to this series, and then this mon Vikavolt being has such a variety to cover, that even after all my talk about only its offensive capabilities, it's already been like 20-25 minutes. So I'll be cutting the video from here, and then tomorrow you will have the other half of the video, which will cover Vikavolt in a more defensive role, and also some partners and the outlook of Vikavolt in general. So look forward to that, guys, and I will see you tomorrow.